Guys, it's Christina. Today's video is going to be talking about Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I completed Ninth House in October, and I really wanted to do an in-depth discussion that I haven't really done anything like this on my channel before. I've primarily accustomed to being very broad and just to the point of how I feel about a book, but I want to talk more about this particular one. And I really wanted to give like my take of how I felt and how I really enjoyed overall the book. So let's just dive right into it. Alright, so let's talk about Ninth House. So it has the fantasy element to it. It's very much like a murder mystery, in my opinion. I look at it as that because we deal with Alex, who's the main character, going down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out 2 murders and 1 disappearance. So there's like a lot going on within the book. And then we have like the whole element of the secret societies as well. Overall, like, it was really good. I really enjoyed the fact that we have like the whole gambit of like the backstory of her. We have the whole gambit and backlog of the secret societies, and Ancient 8 is what they call it. We have like the whole element of the fantasy and references of grays, which is like ghosts. I just really enjoyed it, but there were just so many things that were confusing, and it just was really hard to like keep up and keep track of things, which is why I did like a whole gambit of notes. I ended up with like 3 whole pages of notes just to kind of keep track of everything. Because as I understand it, this is going to be a several-part series from what I heard in the grapevine. The second book is in the process, but it hasn't been, like, titled or anything yet. So I'm really happy to see that Alex's story is going to continue. I really did enjoy, like, the fact that we start off with the introduction of like prognostications and things like that. I really like that each society has its own like concentration, if you will, of magic. But I'm not going to give too much away just because of the fact that if you haven't read it yet, you definitely should go check it out and see for yourself, really. I personally just felt that there was just like too much going on. So I did give this a 5-star review because like, let's face it, the reason why I did a 5-star review was because I really loved the magic system. I really loved Alex as a character. I do like the backstory gambit because of the fact that in a story, if I see a character that has had a lot of trauma, I want to know everything and anything about that trauma. And Leigh Bardugo does a very nice job about like introducing like flashbacks and backstory into like the present day like situations. And it doesn't go on this long random tangent, if you will. I personally loved how she did that. I really like Leigh Bardugo's writing style because it was, at points, even though there was a lot going on, it was pretty to the point and it flowed well. Like I said, with me and my brain, with so many characters and so many different things going on, I personally had to write things down. That's just how my brain works. I had the same problem when I read The Starless Sea, and I had to stop reading that book because I knew going in that I absolutely needed to fully focus on that particular book. I just haven't had a chance to pick it back up yet. With Ninth House, I was able to like listen to the audiobook, follow along with the ebook, because I did get it on Kindle Unlimited. And it was a fairly quick read. It took me maybe, I want to say it took me a good 4 or 5 days to get through Ninth House. There was enough detail going on, and with how many like rabbit hole like investigations that Alex had to go down, it made sense for the length. The only thing that I'm probably about to go on a rant on, and I'll just warn you right now, I don't understand why these authors create these rapists into these like perfect like popular people. I don't understand that. So the rapist that's in this book, and I'm not going to mention the name because you'll find out when you read it, but like I just don't understand why it's always this like high caliber, high elite, high, handsome, predictable character. Like, do these authors realize that rapists can come in all shapes and forms? Like, for example, 13 Reasons Why. That whole series had the football player as the rapist, and, and he got away with it because his parents got money and everything else. And it's, again, in Ninth House, the same situation. The kid is from money. The kid is from high status. The kid is popular. You got fraternities involved this time, and it's just like, why would you create such a predictable rapist? I guess I would have liked to. I personally would like to see a book that has a totally different persona to a rapist. Sure, one can argue that's the whole point of creating these perfect societal high status characters, and they think they're all above it and everything, but at the end of the day, I would love to see a author in a book really project out a different persona of a rapist. And I will mention there's a lot of reference to drug usage. There's a lot of reference to, obviously, rape and sexual assault. There is a lot of reference to bullying. But overall, those are just some trigger warnings that you should, know going in. I did not know this. I am personally a survivor of sexual assault, so some of the scenes that Leigh Bardugo writes, when it comes to, the sexual assault and rape, it was really hard to read at some points. And I got through it. I'm fine. But, at the end of the day, it would have... I was just so angry that it was once again another stereotypical, person raping a bunch of girls and drugging them. Yeah. Just totally predictable character. Had it been, a totally different character besides the one that's in Ninth House, I probably would have been wow, I did not see that coming. Once again, another author creating this high status, high caliber, goody two shoes, egotistical, rapist. So yeah, rant over on that. But overall, I really liked the secret societies. I really liked the amount of detail that was given. I really wish I would have learned more about the Aurelian, I believe it's Aurelian, secret society. And then I would really because it seemed like there was a lot of focus, obviously, on Lethe, which is Alex's secret society that she's involved in. There was reference to Skull and Bone. I feel like giving you this detail doesn't give too much away, because you're gonna find out eventually about the things when you read it. So, but there were a few other ones that were referenced, but there were some that fell short of finding out information, because there's just so much going on with the disappearance and the 2 murders, and the trying to unravel and deal with the detective. It was just it was just a lot going on. I do like the fact that there was a perfect marry of fantasy and mystery and thriller. I felt like it was suspenseful. So I felt like it was a good marry of all of them, and that's why I ended up still giving it a 5-star review. However, though, for someone that just wants personify that it's a fantasy book, I would think that many would want more of the fantasy element besides this murder mystery type thing going on. I don't know. Leave in the comments below if that's if you agree with me or you disagree. I'd be really curious to see how others think about it, because according to the main genres on Goodreads, it says fantasy, fiction, paranormal, urban fantasy, fantasy magic. And then at the bottom, it says mystery, and then contemporary and horror. I mean, I guess I could kind of see the horror element of it. I totally can see the horror element of it because of the gore and whatnot, but
I feel like, you know, like the paranormal and the urban fantasy should be like kicked down a little bit, and like mystery should be like right on top, because it was like fully emphasized of fantasy at the top. So just my take. And like I said, I still recommend everyone to check this book out because it was very good. I've never read anything from Leigh Bardugo, and I really want more. I really want to read Six of Crows duology. I'm about to enter in with my book club. I just joined a new book club because my old one kind of got shut down. We are about to go down the rabbit hole of reading Shadow and Bone, which I had already planned on reading anyway, so I thought it would be cool to read with a bunch of others. And then I'm planning on reading Siege and Storm 2 within the same month, so it's gonna be like back-to-back of Leigh Bardugo in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's like all I really want to talk about. I just personally feel like it was very well done, given like how complex the storyline actually is. It's different than what I've been hearing of Shadow and Bone and the Six of Crows duology. I thought like she was really, as an author, she was really taking a risk of like really bouncing out of those two like realms, if you will. So this is like completely different than what she's used to doing within Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows. So, because I have looked more into those ones before I dove into those, but I do feel like she did really well. It was very like the environment in world building and like understanding like Alex's environment. It was very well done. Like, because I was looking at like pictures of Yale online just to kind of get a feel for how that campus is. And I feel like Leigh Bardugo really encapsulates the great pieces of Yale's university on there. So overall, I was very pleased with it. 5-star. I was engrossed into the story the whole time, between the Greys and Alex and the secret societies and the murder mystery going on and everything. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments below how you felt about the book. I'd be really curious to see how, now that I've gotten the book read and done, I would be very curious on how others perceive Ninth House as well. If you did a review on Ninth House, let me know in the comments below, like your link, and I would love to see and read yours as well. So, but yeah, until next time, guys, take care. Bye.